What you gonna play now? I don't know. Get down, get down, get down.
I know you're gonna dig this.
Get down, get down, get down.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Get Down. Season 3, baby! It has been a hot little fucking minute since I have been sitting in front of this mic and talking to what is essentially myself, but eventually you guys, the listeners. So, first off the bat, I do want to apologize. It's been so long in between episodes. I had, as you know, some dramas with the computer. I've got a new one with the GoFundMe. Everyone who chucked in some bunda to the GoFundMe, I really appreciate you guys. That allowed me to buy a proper, legit version of Logic, which makes editing so much sweeter than dragging a file in and waiting half an hour for it to get there. So, yeah, the computer's really trick, and so is having a cracked a version of Logic that's not cracked. Sorry. So I really appreciate that. You all know who you are. Yeah, just pretty overwhelmed. On top of that, I've been rebuilding the studio, so I've moved it from downstairs in a basement to an upstairs room. It's looking pretty trick. It's feeling really good. The sound's really good. And I've just been busy trying to get this back on the air. It's been a long time. I've in the meantime, you know, you have Christmas and then New Year's rolls around, and then my birthday rolls around, and it just seems like there's not a chance to do anything. And recently I've had my daughter and my granddaughter up for 3 weeks, and that was as awesome as that was. That was more time off from the podcast, but we're back. Season 1, episode 3. Right, so thanks for everyone that chucked in. I also want to do a special shout out to his Instagram handle is The Hatred Is Dead. Bro, where do I start? He made me a 14-inch circular Get Down logo in stainless steel with a mirror finish. And it is fucking trick, man. It looks so good. So the Get Down logo has been cut out of the steel. So I'll put a picture up of it. It's hard to sort of capture in a picture how dope it looks. You've got to kind of walk past it and see it. And I'm looking at it now. It hangs up in my studio real proudly, mate. So I appreciate that. Hit him up if you want some custom jobs done. They're really professional. I don't know how he did it, but he did it. Right, where are we? Happy New Year. It's a bit late for that. Let's talk about tonight's guest. Tonight's guest actually put a bit of a fire under my ass and said, look, man, what's going on with the podcast? I want to come on and promote some of my music that's been put up online now. So I thank him for that, for putting a fire under my ass. So let's talk about him. So when I met this nutcase, he was a Melburnian, then he was a Perthite, and currently he's a Canberrian. So he gets around, as you'll find out during the episode. What else about this guy? I've interviewed his brother. He was on the show, one of the early episodes. His brother is Guts. That should be enough clues. He's part of the Broken Tooth Entertainment family. He is also a hired goon, which we'll go into what that means during the episode. And he is Maggot Motherfucking Mouf. Yo, what up, Mouf? Welcome to the show, man. It's been a minute, mate.
Yeah, long time in between chat.
Yeah, I was just thinking I've got written here. I haven't seen you since you came over to Adelaide. And you and Gutsy had that hotel down the bay, and then I went, and then Guts had that massive And then Gutsy goes, you went. And then I go, and she goes, and then you threw it out the window and told her, bitch, get the fuck out. And then we ended back up at Glenelg anyway.
Glenelg, yeah.
Yeah.
That was mad, man. That was a full mission. And then we had to drive back to Melbourne the next day. It was horrible.
Oh, yuck.
I think we got a couple of hours sleep and then we're like, let's go, we're on the road.
I've had some benders in that hotel, eh?
Yeah.
My butt's not in there and it was fucking,
Yeah.
you know.
It's a good spot, man. I mean, probably the best spot I've been to in Adelaide.
Yeah. I've done some things there that's better not say much more without a lawyer present.
Questionable. Questionable. Even that night, me and Gutsy did so many questionable things. But it's horrible. So many hotels and so many gross stories.
Fuck, that must be like, it's got to be like 7-8 years ago. What were you there for? That must be like 6 or 7 years ago. 8 years?
I was actually moving back to Melbourne, and I drove from Perth, and that was my plan, and I was going to drive solo back. But then Gutsy actually showed up the day before, just randomly. Like, he made a little pact with Complete, like to keep it a secret and shit. And then, he just shows up. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing here? He's like, bro, I'm coming with you. I was like, no, I can't.
Oh, it's a kind of a drive that Nullarbor, eh?
Oh, dude. No, it was twice I've done it. Because like, when I moved to Perth, I drove there. When I moved back to Melbourne, I drove there. So I'm over it, man. Even after the first one, I'm like, I never want to do that again. Just long, the 1,000 K straight.
Yeah. I've done it on the train too. It's fucking...
Oh, yeah. How long's that?
Oh, fucking a long time, man.
Still 3 days or 4 days or something?
I think, well, it's only Adelaide.
Oh, it's Adelaide, yeah.
But there's this one spot where there's this fella. He's got like, I'd say it's a mansion. It's in the middle of fucking nowhere, but it's just made of corrugated iron. And it's this fucking
That's
massive joint. What happens? The train stops there and they throw him shit. Like, so the drivers and the train staff will stop and they'll collect him stuff. And, you know, they might throw out fucking 4 or 5 sheets of corrugated iron, a bag of nails and some wood. And
wow.
And he just
That's
goes
crazy.
and collects. It's fucking huge, man. Like, I think you can only see it from the train line and like middle of butt fuck nowhere, man. It's fucking.
So where, like, in Adelaide or
No,
Perth?
it must be like, I think it's on the other side, or either side of like Kalgoorlie, so right out there, middle of nowhere. Man.
Yeah, man, there's so much middle of nowhere in WA. you don't realise how big it is until you live there for a bit. You're like, wow, I will never see every inch of WA. Like,
nah, it
just takes weeks.
Yeah, it's a big place, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the good thing about East Coast. You just like Brisbane, Sydney, Melbourne in one day. No worries.
Yeah, Melbourne's tiny, eh?
Yeah.
When you think about it, like, you can get from the border of South. Well, we used to do random drives from Adelaide to Melbourne. Like, so
yeah. Well, that's a cruisy drive, I recommend, the Adelaide one.
Yeah, that is good.
It's the cruisiest one, you know, compared to like Melbourne to Sydney or whatever. It's just a bit more quieter or something on the road there.
Yes, can't nothing but kangaroos.
Yeah, that's it, man. Driving 11 p.m. down there, just shitting your pants, hoping for the best, because you're not going to pull over.
No,
there's nowhere to pull over to. So you're fucked either way.
I used to travel that road a lot with my stepfather as a kid, and I remember he used to turn the lights off to show me how dark it is. And it was like, fuck, it just randomly turn them off. Like, put them back on.
Not a light to be seen anywhere.
Man. So what's been going on, man? Fuck, hell. It's
since I've seen you last, fuck, man. So many things. I don't know where to start. Like, we've got 2 baby mamas now.
2 baby mamas.
Two good little lads.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's keeping me busy. Got a 3-year-old and 9-year-old.
So you married now?
No, I was, man. We got divorced. So we got married in Vegas after 3 months of dating, and then within 12 months we were divorced, but already had my son by then. So
yeah, right.
Yeah, man. Fuck. Who knew Vegas wedding wouldn't work out. Fuck, what are you gonna do? I think the average.
So good, go mate.
The average time frame is about 12 months to the Vegas wedding last. So
was it a full-on Elvis one? Like,
yeah, dude, Elvis is there. It's on my Instagram. There's photos of him. He called himself Elvis Pretzel. He was the weirdest cunt, and he kind of kept trying to steal the limelight, like getting all in the cameras and shit. It was weird.
That's fucking funny, man. I have to suss it out. I was skulking around on your Instagram tonight to get some photos.
Yeah,
and also I've got you up here on Google. A lot of guns, man. A lot of weapons.
Guns.
A lot of weapons.
Well, I'm a big fan of guns and weapons, man. I love them. I just, even when I was 10, like, it's just making nunchucks, making swords, just making all the dangerous shit, trying to make homemade guns, stuff like that. Yeah, because when we grew up, it was like far east Victoria, like Millgrove and Warburton, Yarra Junction. Like, it was where you could swim in the Yarra River and shit.
Yeah.
And basically the whole town was just run by bikies and shit. That's it. And, like, all our family was just, uncles or step-uncles or whatever, all just bikies. So, you just grow up with a lot of weapons around you and how fucking cool they are. Like, as a kid, you're like, yeah. We used to collect even gun magazines and stuff and just stare at them every day like, wow, wish we could get them. Mad. And then, yeah, after that Tassie shit, obviously, it wasn't as fun anymore, I guess.
So do you hunt?
Yeah, man. Yeah, I love that shit.
Yeah, I see.
We'll pretty good shot too.
We'll get into that, Dan. I've got that as a bit of a question about some of your activities. So while we're there, like for listeners who don't know, you are Guts' older brother.
Yeah.
So Guts I interviewed in season 1, if you can call it an interview. More like recorded a drunken conversation, but I love I'm the unspoken dirty redhead fifth brother of you mob, like definitely. And so you're the older brother of Guts, and there's a couple more of you there.
Yeah.
And a sister.
Yeah. So got another younger brother, Liam. He's under Guts, obviously, and then younger sister.
Yeah.
So, she just had to see 3 rough cunts growing up. So she's like, she's scary, man, when she wants to be. She's like 4 foot, but scary.
I remember
like a scary 25-year-old. Just like, yeah. One of those ones you hear their voice down the street coming. Just like, fucking cunt! You're like, oh, what's up, Taylor? How you doing?
That's
just
funny.
telling it how it is. We'll come over and just fart in your face. Like, that's all shit. Even if you didn't know you.
Yeah, you cherish it, mate. You got to cherish your family,
Yeah, definitely.
I was lucky enough just recently, like the reason I put this interview off a little bit is my daughter was up here with her daughter. And it was fucking just amazing. I haven't seen them in 14 months, man. And like just
how old's the daughter now?
My daughter's 23 and my granddaughter's 3.
I mean,
yeah,
her daughter 3. Wow.
So
I remember I've seen the post up, and your daughter was just had a baby or something like that. Like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's crazy.
She's pretty young, yeah.
Yeah, she was 20 when she had her. So it's funny to be like, some of my mates are still having kids, their first kids. Like Concepts just had another baby. Shout outs to Concepts and his new little fella. And I'm like,
congrats.
Yeah, and I've got like a 3-year-old.
Yeah.
So, like granddaughter, that is. Great.
Yeah. So, I don't know why we do it to ourselves. But at least you had one real early on, so
yeah.
At least you got that one. You got an older one and a younger one. Pretty sweet.
Well, my lad's 9, so it's a good good gap for him to be an uncle to my granddaughter. Yeah. So he protects her with his life. It was really good, man. It's such a trip fucking looking at, just that whole concept of if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't be here.
Yeah.
And you have that with your own kids. You do have that with your own kids, but then to look another generation, it's just fucking mind-blowing, man.
I know. It is. It kind of scares me, the next gen of our kids, like when my kids are 40 I feel like the world's going to be pretty shit and hard to sort of get a leg up. You know, I think it gets harder every year, but fuck. In 20 years, it's going to be hard. I think to do anything.
Yeah, well, that's if they don't fucking nuke the planet first.
Yeah, but
You know?
one can only hope.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we just all go out with a nuke before we become slaves or whatever.
The thing is, right, is like what I worry about is how the fuck are they going to buy homes? Like, I'm buying a house up. I'm still fucking trying to buy a house up here, and it's just going up and up and up and up. And it's like 850 grand just to fucking get a look in. And
on average.
And, you know, I could buy 3 houses in Adelaide for that. That's fucking crazy, man.
Yeah, it's insane, eh? But, you know, it goes up and down like a yo-yo.
Yeah.
Property, so you just got to be lucky with the timing, really, man. I think. That's all you can do. Get lucky.
It's a funny one. All right, so let's get into it, right? So, and I asked you earlier, and you're cool to have a bit of a yarn about it. And for those who want to either go back first or listen to it after, you can go and listen to the Guts interview, and Guts touched on it a little bit. But you're pretty forthright in your music, and I think a lot of people know you had a bit of a different childhood to most people. A little bit rougher than others, and I think, you know, that's kind of why I can't think of the word I'm trying to. You resonate with people through your music, you know. So, do you want to tell us a little bit about what it was like for you growing up? Because we've heard Gutsy's version, but what was it like for you being the older brother?
Fuck, being the oldest before when you broke sucks, man. It fucking sucks. When you got a single mum and you're the oldest before, it's like pretty much, all right, from 10 years old, you step up and you start fucking changing nappies, organising food, that sort of thing, making sure they're, like later on in life, making sure they're not going to foster care and shit, just stepping up constantly. Like there was a good 20 years of my life where it was just about hooking them up and making sure they're safe. And that's all I cared about, really. Besides rap and skating at the time, like, I just, you know, but shit happens. What are you going to do? There's families out there with oldest to 8 and shit, and with like junkie parents, and that I know of, and I'm just like, how the fuck do you survive that shit? Yeah. It's nuts. But now I know that I like my silence, man. Now, like growing up with people out of my house all the time, like I just like fucking off, escaping to my property and turning my phone off and just being like, this is just me, and I don't have to care about anyone. Because like, the constant fear of something happening to your family is just shit. Like there'd be times where to be like, I'm 20 and it's a mate's birthday and I'm about to head out, and then some fucked up shit happens, whether a friend ODs or ambulance comes for some reason, or there's coppers raiding a house, or there's some shit going on, and then I have to sort of make sure everything's good at home, and then I can go out to the party and get fucked up and take heaps of drugs so I can forget about what I just witnessed, you know what I mean? And back then I wouldn't even tell anyone. I'd go to the party, hey Dave, how you doing? I'd be like, yeah, I'm sweet, man. I'm fucking great. Let's go. We'll start drinking. I kept it like pretty dark. My good friends knew about what home was like for me, because they'd see some of the raids, or, you know, even see our house on the news sometimes, or shit like that. So my close friends kind of knew, but I didn't even talk about it with them until I didn't really talk about it with anyone. Like there's a few close mates that had the same parents, like Dingle and shit. Me and him grew up the same because his old man was, you know, using and shit. Yeah. So it was like a few handful actually knew, but the rest I didn't even sweat telling them. I'm like, I'm not telling anyone. I'm actually kind of embarrassed about it. You know, like I don't want to, I don't know, and maybe I just didn't want sympathy as well. It's pretty shameful, you know. You just feel shame as a teenager when there's like junkies all through your house, and you kind of have to just have your mates over, but have them not realise that. Yeah, I guess all of them probably knew. You know, it's a conundrum, man. It really fucks you up. Yeah, like you lose a lot of sleep, tossing and turning, trying to work out how to fix it. But honestly, I don't think I really told anyone until I started writing it in my music. Like I was scared shitless to bring out. Never would admit it, man. Almost didn't. I was like, yeah, I was only the pure fact of like, will people know this is about my mum?
Yeah.
So I tried to hide as much as possible. I never said my mum. I said her. She's got a problem.
Yeah.
You know, and some people send me messages like, oh, because you can kind of relate too, man. Like, I know you've been sort of thrilled in a way, but, you know, blokes would hit me up and go, man, this song, like, hit my heart about my missus or whatever, or about my sister, or... So I just, it wasn't even on purpose that I left it that broad so everyone could relate closer to it being just about a woman. It was more like, I don't want any cunt knowing it's about my mum, but I have to get this shit off my chest.
Yeah, it's pretty powerful.
Tell me that there's more than this. Loved ones enthralled in an orphan's bliss. I could see her while she folded bits, but she never would admit it though, rather call it quits. It's all a sitch if you know how to handle it. She didn't know, it was never in the manuscript. The hand she flipped never worked out. Got her perks from the jerks that she always hung out with. One sniff, head turned to the cloud. She never would admit it though, kept it in a shroud. So proud of the person she was. When I asked why she heard, she'd just say because.
Yeah, surprisingly, like, I hated it for ages and I didn't want to release it, and the beat was just that dope, and Checkers just kept pushing me to release it. He's like, you fucking have to, man. It's a crazy song.
Yeah, I feel that. I just, on the record I bought out for a couple of years ago now, that song about my sister, that's 15 years old. Probably longer. Like, I think I recorded it in 2004, 2005. She died in 2002, and it just sat there. It's just sat there.
Yeah.
And when I was putting the record out, I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. You know, I'm gonna.
Fuck it. You're old enough. You're in a space. Did you keep sort of adding it and doctoring it that whole time?
Nah.
Or you just wrote it?
Nah, because it was a letter to her. It was a letter that I wrote, and because I rap, it came out like that. And then Dev's on there, you know, talking about his brother. So my section's a letter to my sister, and he's talking about his brother and to him, I guess. So I said to him, look, do you mind if I use it? And he's like, no, let's do it. We gave it a home. Yeah. And if you look in the, you know, when you press vinyl, you can get it scribed on the on the little inside. It says rest in peace, Chris and Laura. And on the other side, I put my kids' names and that. So little Easter eggs there for you out there to pull it out.
Well, on the white on the paper sheet, the wax comes in, or on the inside of the sleeve?
The runoff where they press it, they scribe the master. So like they get a little, you know, tiny little fucking sharp.
Oh yeah.
So it's in each record.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's kind of cool.
Okay.
I'm still
it is. I love those Easter egg shit.
Yeah, still pressing vinyl. I was talking about it the other day. Like I said, oh yeah, I pressed the vinyl, and this woman was like, "You did what?"
Yeah, I know. People still don't get it. Like even I think it was at Kmart with someone, and then it's like a record player, and they're like, "What? Why would anyone buy that? What are they doing? What the fuck?" I'm like, a portable record player. People have records. And that's bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, just go check out Vinny's. It's heat.
I just read that CDs are coming back. They're making a big comeback.
Bullshit.
Nah, well, mate, would the internet lie?
Why CDs, man? They just scratch and then they're fucked.
I just copped that Bigfoot one.
The what?
That new Bigfoot and heater. Fuck.
Oh yeah.
Well, now he's gonna hate me if he's listening. What's it called? The fucking.
I can't remember either, man. Useless cunt.
I'll edit it in there, but it's him, Overproof Pete, Heater, and Wallsy.
Yeah,
Kill Squad.
That's dope.
Kill Squad, man.
Kill Squad.
Yeah, it's like
I saw that short video. Yeah. It looked like Heater put that video together. It was just that old school VHS looking tape shit.
Yeah,
he loves that, man. He's got like VHS galore.
He's so fucking good on the video tip.
CDs. I mean, I love CDs because I love the covers. I love opening the books, and finding Easter eggs. Before they were called Easter eggs, I had them in the album. Like,
I love the shout out list.
Reading the track titles, the shout out list, and who produced what. I love that shit. I love seeing who produced what, and there'll be like a guest rapper that you don't know. So you're
Yeah.
like, fuck, who's this name?
Well, that's what's getting lost now. I reckon I've said that before on the show about that being lost. Is you know, who fucking produced that? You know, you don't know. And I
Yeah.
mean, you can
Horrible.
dig deep in. You can look into Spotify and it does have that, but a lot of people don't even.
Really?
Yeah, well, you can go on there and it says produced by. You sort of go back a few layers on the song, but a lot of people don't even put it on there, man. You know. So,
Yeah, a lot of people I don't think do put who produced it on the Spotify info. Just don't care.
Yeah, well, that's the thing, man, and that's going back to the vinyl. I love sitting down, you know, sit in the chair, hold the record. Even back in the day when there's a fucking booklet to come with it, and you playing the vinyl, and you got the fucking the inner sheet, and you're reading it.
You have the vinyl that opens up like a book. You're like, fuck, double vinyl. What the fuck?
Yeah.
And the art, man, the art is so good on a vinyl.
Yeah,
I think probably because it's bigger, so it's just more enjoyable to look at or something.
Yeah, fuck Spotify.
Yeah, man.
People probably listening to this on Spotify.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you, Spotify, but also fuck you.
Yeah.
Like I put my shit up, you know, like 3 months ago.
Yeah.
After not having it up there for 10 years. And I was like, yeah, I might get a couple of bucks, man. Who knows? I called Scissors. I'm like, look, man, because he produced a lot of Your All Ears as well. So I was like,
yeah,
man, you produced most of my shit, so let's just go halves and whatever I get.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, man, don't get hurt stuff. I'm like, nah, I'm not, for sure. But it was like, it come in, man. It was like $1.50. I was like, fucking hell. Not even going to, what do I do? Send Scissors 75 cents.
Send him a check.
Send him a chup.
Oh, that's funny.
Check. That'd be horrible.
They do need to change it, man. Like, but the only way it's going to happen is every artist just, like, you know how people were taking their shit down because of Joe Rogan.
Boycott it.
Every artist just has to go, I'm taking it down until you pay me, you know? And even if it is fucking 2 cents a play, like, that's better than nothing. I think I got a payment for like $70 or something.
Fuck yeah.
And that's for, I don't even know how they work that out. That's from, like,
are you with Afra and Anclos and all that shit as well?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because the cup, like one of the track, or two of the tracks have American artists on there as well. So the Rascash track sort of went for a bit of a run overseas. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Fuck yeah. And there's so many people overseas. Like, if America catches onto a song, fuck man, that's a lot of people.
Yeah. Well, it got played on a few radio stations over there, and I think that, from memory, I remember, like, if a radio plays it, it kind of jumps up to 20 cents with APRA and that.
Yeah.
And then when it comes to videos, I remember hearing back in the day rumours that a video is like $4. So say you got Jimmy Ricard or something getting played every day on the big
football or whatever, cricket.
Yeah. I think those big ones with the hoods, don't quote me on it, but I think they sold the rights.
Back in the day, man, when my first clip coming out, Animal Instinct, we sent it to Rage, and it was a process of, like, you have to put it on Digibeta, because that's all that Rage takes, like, just this old school fucking tape.
Crazy.
Like, before VHS, they used this shit. So we got it on there. Luckily, I had a mate that worked at Channel 9, so we just fucking used all his equipment, whatever. Didn't cost much. Like, I think I gave him a bag of weed for the whole thing, and man, he edited it so well. Anyway, fucking, yeah, so when that got played, it got played twice on Rage in, like,
man,
for 2 weeks when the album come out or whatever, and that was $150 each play.
Not far.
And I was like, I was balling, man. I was like, wow, I just released my mixtape, and I was like, I made $500 from my mixtape, and then $300 come in from APRA, from Rage, and I'm just like, man, I'm a rap star.
Fucking hell, that's sick.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I was going to ask you about that clip, like. Because, that's strange that they play that, because you jacked shit from Blue Murder to go on there, didn't you? You jacked footage. Was that
on the mixtape?
No, for the footage. Haven't you got footage of the lawyer getting thrown overboard with the stove from Blue Murder?
That was Garg. That was Garg's film clip.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, that was hectic, that scene.
Yeah, that was crazy. What's Animal Instinct when you're in the zoo?
Yeah, the zoo one.
All right.
Yeah, we went to Melbourne Zoo on like a winter day, and they were just cool lads. They're like, yeah, come in, film whatever you want. Like, sweet, thanks. There's no one there. It's the best.
Yeah. The quality of film clips these days is nuts, eh?
Yeah.
Like what people are doing, and
Fuck yeah, man. The whole editing process. And
I can't be.
you know what's popular? Like doing the one take clip. You know, everyone's got to have a go at that now.
Yeah.
Like Stormzy sort of brought it up again, and then I don't know. I was watching Rage last weekend and had like, you know, Aussie punk bands sort of hosting it. So it's lots of Aussie underground music. Like most of it was shit, like dance music, and I don't know half the genres. It was just terrible music. So I'm just like, this rap clip come on again. And it was just one take. It was supposed to be all kind of like had that common sort of conscious rap feel.
Oh yeah.
Some Aussie rapper, and I was just like, man, just played out now. The one take.
You know what is a good clip? Fucking really organised, I reckon, and it's the whole THC crew, and it runs like one take, and the rappers just keep going off each other. It's almost like they've just called action, and there's a rapper and he walks into the house, and then he walks into a room, and
perfect timing.
Oh man, it's really good.
Yeah,
It's like that movie Birdman. You know, you've seen that movie Birdman where it's all like there's no edits. Well, it's meant to look like no edits with Michael Keaton.
Yeah,
Yeah, you should
1917 as well. That's like minimal edits.
Yeah, that's
cool
meant.
that one.
Yeah, it's meant to be shot like. I haven't finished watching it yet, but yeah, that was pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. So you're into hip hop. How did you get into hip hop? What was your introduction to it?
Fuck man, it was like just that generic story of watching skate videos.
Yeah.
You know, just a mate would come around with a skate tape, like VHS video. We'd all just be like, fuck yeah, man, the new video costs like $50-$70 or something, let's go.
Yeah.
Ready to watch it, and then just, mostly you'd just be in awe from the tunes. You'd be like, holy shit. We've got so many like different rappers out of skate vids that I like fully got into. And then, man, get this, I was sort of into rap for the last couple of years, whatever. And then, so my mum catches a bus and finds this like big tape sort of casing, you know, those old leather cases.
Yeah.
Used to sort of flop them open. They just hold like 20 tapes in them or whatever.
Yeah.
Anyway, mum finds out, she says, oh, you might like this tape thing I found. Keep this, you like music. I opened it. It was just like all rap tapes.
Man.
Every tape was rap. And there was so much shit I never heard before. It was like the first time I heard Cool Keith. He was in there.
Sick.
Like, all these tapes blew my mind, man. I'm like, I'm the luckiest motherfucker. Like, holy shit. And then just sharing them tapes with my mates. Like, you know, back in the day when you find a rapper and you just think you're the maddest cunt because you're telling everyone about the rapper that's that dope. Like, oh, man, I discovered Eminem for the crew. I told you. I put you onto him. It's kind of that race. So you're just always looking for new artists. So when I got this tape cassette thing, I'm like, holy shit.
Man.
Like, yeah. It just really picked me up to do it. And also, actually, I've got to give a shout out to Reese, though, man. Hanging out with Reese.
Yeah.
Like, growing up with him at skate parks and that, he was the one rapping in the crew, really. Like,
So
him and maybe...
Dime.
Yeah, Dime. Yeah.
I've got to get you on, man. I fucking love him, man.
He's mad style.
Oh, he is so incredible. Like, he needs a solo album.
Yeah, fully. You better get one out, man.
Yeah,
before he's too old.
So he reminds
You
me.
only got one shot.
Yeah, he reminds me of like the Australian Method Man.
Yeah, definitely, 100%, man.
But he's so dope and so nonchalant. Like you don't hear from him. He's not all over the internet. He's just fucking like boom, just drops heat, and that's you know.
That's it. Yeah, he was always working on rap back in the day. So when I saw him doing it, I think we ended up going to the same college, like Narrabundah College, and like he dropped out like year 11 or whatever, but he was like the one that rapped at the school as well. So I was just hanging out with him, and then he left, and then I joined a band, like a rock band. I guess it was like, it's rank to say, but it was like some Linkin Park heavy band. Like I had one singer was the screamer and I was the rapper. And, we just thought we had mates that just couldn't play for shit. And we chopped and changed a few people in the band, whatever, but we ended up doing a few gigs here in Canberra, like pub gigs and stuff, and thought we were balling. And then from there was like, man, someone got Fruity Loops and that was it. I was like, fuck, I can make my own beats and I don't have to go to someone's house with a drum kit.
Yeah.
I can just sit in my room, make my own beat and just write.
Yeah.
And then, jack beats as well, instrumentals, a lot of instrumentals. They were mostly on wax back in the day. That's all you could find an instrumental, but eventually, you get CDs of them and you're like, ooh, here we go. Start rapping on this.
Yeah, speaking of Fruity Loops, man, I just actually got a copy of it. I had the reason I haven't done the show for a while is my computer shit itself.
Yeah.
So and then life fucking gets in the way, and I've just been a slack cunt as well. But I got a new Mac, and I bought Logic for the first time. So yeah, shout outs to everyone who chucked in. I did a GoFundMe, so thank you to everyone who chucked in, man. Like
keeping the dream alive.
Yeah, man. You're part of this now. So I bought my first proper version of Logic Audio that's not cracked, so it's not crashing, and I souped up the computer so it works fast. But I'm like, at work we have Fruity Loops where I work. I was sort of teaching some younger students. Like, I work in disability now. I've gone away from the youth workers, and I was showing them how to make beats, and I'm like, I got to get Fruity. So I bought a copy of it too.
Yeah.
And it's just come so far, man. Like,
yeah.
remember how you couldn't fuck around with waves back in the day, and you had the block.
Yeah.
The block.
I had to send it to Cool Edit.
Yeah. Clean your sample up in Cool Edit and then go take it back in, and then it's not clean enough. It's not a good loop. But it's fucking come a long way, man.
Yeah. So it's got that now. Like, you got the tracks, you can just duplicate and away you go.
Yeah, man. So
yeah. Can you do vocals on it?
Yeah, you can record into it, but I still use Logic. I mean, it was a bit of a knee-jerk reaction.
Everyone's got their jam.
It's good for like synth and stuff like that, so I'll just fuck around and play a synth and then bring it in and chop it up in Logic. But it's good for my lads to just sort of jump on there and, just click wherever you want, and or I'll let him fuck around on the drum machine and bring sounds in. But yeah, Fruity Loops is where we all started. Me, Concepts, and Bornsky would all fuck around and
that's where everyone started Fruity Loop, eh?
Yeah, I think Checker still uses it.
Yeah, he still uses it. Fucking know. Yeah. OG Fruity.
But he makes started on it. He's got a real different way of using it. I think Checker's.
Yeah, he uses shit like crazy.
Yeah,
scientific amalgamations.
He's a professor.
Professor, yeah.
Professor.
That's what we call him in the crew. He's the professor,
Oh, shit. So going back, well, let's jump to that. I want to ask that. Can you, for people who don't know, can you break down? So you're signed to Broken Tooth, right?
Yeah.
So, and you're in Hired Goons.
Yeah, only recently, really.
Right.
Only the last couple of years.
Break that down for people who don't understand. I know what's going on, but so can you break down what's Broken Tooth Entertainment and what is Hired Goons and who?
Yeah,
not everyone on Broken Tooth is in the Goons, eh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So because when BTE's got like a bunch of people, whole lot of people, so we all come in to BTE with our own crews as well. Before we knew, BTE or whatever. Like, I've always been the awkward lads, AWK. That's just been me for fucking 25 years or some shit. So it's a bit the reason why some people aren't in say Hired Goons is because they're just affiliated with another crew that deep. That it's just too busy. Yeah. It'd be like me just because in WA I remember actually hitting up Complete. I was like, man, put me in the cycle, that'd be dope. He was like, man, you're already in heaps of crews. Like, why would I do that? I'm like, yeah, true.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. But yeah, so I don't know. I guess the affiliation with that is HG was the crew before BTE as well. So, and that was like Bigfoot, Fletch, a few other lads that didn't get signed for music. They're just doing other shit, you know, like painting or whatever.
Max.
You know, and eventually then New Sense was in it, and then Checkers, and, you know, Brisbane lads as well. I'm pretty sure Lazy Grey's in it. I know, you know, as soon as Foot went to Queensland, he just started making friends everywhere. He knew those lads anyway, so HG got up there because of Foot. But because Foot's an OG of HG, he can invite. He can say, "Come to you're in HG now." He can do that.
Yeah, right. So like because Gaz is in it now, I think.
Yeah.
Gaz,
so like
Gaz
Checkers can say you're in BTE because he's the head of that for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But Checkers probably couldn't say, "Oh, you're in HG now," without checking in with, you know, Foot or even Fletch, maybe, even though he's like in Queensland far away. You don't see him much. Like, it's still, there's just kind of a respect code on, you know, am I stepping on toes by being in this crew? Is it conflicting with other crews? Whatever. It's just politics of Melbourne rap. It's pretty fucked.
Sounds like a biking club, man.
Oh, kind of, without as much violence, I guess. It's just, Melbourne's like a melting pot of crews and everyone trying to just outdo each other. Well, it was when I was coming up. It was real competitive. So you basically need your crew. Like, otherwise you're punching on by yourself, you know. You kind of need a bit of, I guess, street cred coming up in Melbourne rap scene or grap scene, whatever, because all of a sudden there's going to be like a hectic graffiti writer with one arm that always carries a fucking box cutter that wants to kill you because you said something in a song, and then that's your worry for like 6 months. You're like, fuck, where's this hectic, grappy fucking cunt going to come and fight me? Like, think of him coming to the show, staring at me, blah, blah, blah. So having that crew affiliation is just like, okay, people know if they're going to fuck with me, then, like, as soon as I was in BTE, man, I think, you know, my confidence boosted hard, especially only coming back to Melbourne, being fresh there because I didn't live there for 10 years while I lived in Canberra or whatever. Yeah. So having moved to Melbourne, pretty much within the first year, got signed to BTE. Then I was like, fuck, I'm invincible, man. Like, this is the best. I can, like, walk, I can go to hip-hop clubs without someone trying to harass me. Like, it was like a safety net for me. It was the best shit I ever got. And that's pretty much the reason I moved to Melbourne, was to get signed to BTE.
That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Adelaide, a little bit more simpler.
Yeah. Just, I don't know, for a small city like Melbourne's like, just thick with political bullshit. Like, so many times there'd be graph writers that want to bash me, and I still don't know why. Either I slept with their bitch or punched on with one of their mates, and they wouldn't forget it for years, man. And they'd be coming to the hip-hop shows, you're like, fuck, man, I have to fight this guy again. He's serious. When's he going to get over it? Like, but you can't back down and be a pussy, because if everyone in town hears you're a pussy, well, you got a name for yourself, and that's it. You're fucked. Hang on, man. I just got to see what my son's doing.
Yeah, right. Alright, we're back. So, you recently uploaded your whole catalogue to streaming, you were saying. So it's all, everyone can go and listen. It's all on the streaming platforms now. The last thing you release, Maggot-tron. Maggot-tron.
Yeah, 2020.
Yeah, so that was, I didn't cop that. Normally I do cop most of your shit via CD and that, but I missed that one.
Yeah, we only pressed 100 of them, eh?
I think before that was like the Scissors, Sammy Scissors presents Till Death. Till Death, you're all over that.
Yeah.
And then like Ashes to Dust with Checkers, Known Associates.
Yeah.
So that's just another thing. Oh, we're running under Known Associates for this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty much. Yeah. It's like, and just helps having a name, because maybe next time there might be a next time for another album. So it's like, let's categorize it in that.
Yeah.
You know, just so it's direct, like, that's Known Associates.
Yeah. I can't wait to have him on, man. I just got so much respect for what he does.
Yeah.
Like the way he grinds.
That's going to be a good chat.
Yeah, the way he grinds, and, like, he really deserves to be
living well off his music, the effort he puts in.
Yeah.
You know, like such a good bloke.
Yeah, definitely, man.
Talented
So
artist.
much work.
I'll get him. It's on the cards,
Yeah.
listeners. It's on the cards. But yeah, with this latest one, I have to admit, it sounds a little bit different to your older shit.
Yeah.
So-
Well, you know, Magototron, man, we recorded that before Running with Scissors come out.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it was like 2011 or something.
You joking?
I think we recorded that. Nah. And we only pressed 100 copies. It was me and Dakota. Went to Discourse's house, and he actually, like, he had a few burners going. So we're like, man, can we come to your house and just burn 100 discs? And he helped us, like, burn all these discs right on we're putting stickers on them and shit, just drawing on them, shit like that. If anyone's got one out there, fuck, send one to me. I don't have one. Yeah, so it was like, because I remember Checkers, it got to a point where we were going to release Magototron in that time frame, because basically BT had so many artists, and we all got to release one every 2 years, basically.
Yeah.
The way it works. So there's everyone in between that year, or there's two in a year to get released, and so the promo gets pushed in a good time ways and that. But like, yeah, just being in that realm of like, I've got to release an album. Should I release Magototron 2020 with Dakota, or should I just release my solo album that I've been working on? And, you know, it was just like, fuck, a no-brainer. I have to, because I didn't want to wait another 2 years for my next solo. So I'm just like, fuck it, I'll mixtape Magototron. Like, I don't even know if I even put it up on YouTube back then or anything. I think we just put it up on Bandcamp or something. Can't even remember. Like, it was one of them projects we loved doing, but we just didn't give a fuck if anyone listened to it.
Yeah, it's on Bandcamp.
Me and Dakota had... It is.
Yeah.
That was probably like the only thing it was up on.
So it's called 2020. It's not released 2020.
Nah.
Fuck,
So
I thought it was new.
Well, when they said, they asked me for the date, and I was like, you know, I'm going to fuck with people and just say it's recent release.
Yeah,
I was like, who needs to know? It was 11 years ago.
Yeah, fuck.
I mean, you could probably tell by the recording, it's pretty rough, because it was all just done in my bedroom.
Well, I thought you were going for that sound. That's what I've got written here, that that sounds like you've switched up and it's different to your older shit. And I've asked, the question is that an intentional switch up?
Yeah.
So that's pretty interesting.
Well, we had a concept behind that album. It was basically like we wanted 10 tracks, and we wanted me and Dakota doing 20 bars on each song. So that's the 2020. And we wanted to make it about just fucking destruction of the world, basically. Like all the fuck shit that's probably going to happen or whatever. But when we released it, like, actually a mate hit me up the other day. He's like, man, you predicted the future in 2020, because the 2020 went to shit. It was my worst year, blah, blah, blah. I was like, yeah, probably, man, but we didn't mean to call it 2020 as in a year. It was more like we had 20 bar verses in each song, and that was it. We didn't really put that much thought into it, because literally me and Dakota would just get drunk all Sunday, maybe make a beat, or we record on the beat we made that same day, or we just record 2 songs. We'd sit there sipping a case of like VB or something, just getting munted and just fucking writing the dumbest lyrics, somehow pulling it off.
Now that's fucking really interesting to know, man, because I thought it was new.
Yeah.
You know,
there you go, gotcha.
Yeah, well, fucking fooled me.
And, man, like, when you said you wanted,
yeah, keep it dark.
Yeah. I'm just like, man, because I made that beat, and I'm like, fuck, it's a horrible beat. I fucking hate it. And then Dakota's like, I love that beat. Let's fucking write to it. I'm like, okay, cunt. Because I think we had a thing like, each time he come around, he'd be like, we're writing to this beat, and you can't argue with me. I'm like, okay. And then the next week, I'll be like, we're writing to this beat, and you can't argue with me. Like, we were trying to just outdo each other.
Yeah,
and I think that's why we kept it at 20 bars each, because we're like, fuck 16 bars, man.
Yeah.
We've got heaps of bars. We're going 20 each fucking track, just to outdo each other, and also just to burn other rappers in the scene. Feel fed up with them by then too.
Yeah, I really dig that beat. It kind of reminds me of something Death Wish would rock over.
Yeah, fully.
You know, and then even the cover reminds me of like that old Company Flow cover.
Yeah, it does, eh?
Can't think of it.
Man, it looks so good on wax, that cover.
Yeah.
Actually, Dakota drew that because he's all in his fashion shit, so like clothing, so he's fucking good at drawing, man. So he drew that whole cover in like a couple of hours or whatever. We're like, yep, that's the cover.
So good, eh? So good.
Yeah.
All right, well, you tricked me there then.
Gotcha.
So,
yeah. Recent release, but released in 2011 on 100 CDs.
Is everything you got up there? So you're running with. So what's your back list? I'm all ears.
So yeah, well before that, Maggots Anonymous. That was the mixtape.
Yeah.
And Mexi did that cover. I fucking love that cover. So yeah, Maggots Anonymous, You're All Ears. Then it would have been Magototron, then Running with Scissors, then Meat and Two Veg mixtape with DJ Nate.
Yeah.
And then Known Associates, and then Smog.
Yeah, the Smog.
So
I missed that
6
one.
or 7 in there.
That Smog came out on vinyl, didn't it?
Yeah, but again, we were tied up because we only did 20 vinyl. Basically because we wanted it on vinyl. So we're like, well, if, the 4 of us chip in, get some vinyl, sell the other 16, then hopefully that pays for the vinyl we get to keep. And we're like, yeah, sweet.
Is it a lathe cut?
A what?
A lathe cut vinyl, not pressed, but cut as it's played.
I think so. Yeah.
If you only did 20
Shaker
nights.
did it.
Yeah.
Rob Shaker organised it also.
Who's Rob Shaker? No, I'm only playing. Rob, you got to come on too, mate. You got to defend.
Yeah, true.
He's got to defend.
WA lads in there.
Yeah, he's got to defend himself.
Sometimes you heaps of lads. Get Complete in here, fucking Cog.
Yeah, man.
Matt Raffle.
Yeah, it'd be good. You know what's funny about Complete is up here where I'm living, there's a fucking... Or I'll tell you at the end of the story. There's cars everywhere with Complete stickers, right? Because saw he come up here, right? And I saw him with Manners and I went to the gig and I'm like, yeah, it's fucking good. Kicking back with him backstage, having a few beers. And then I'm like, fuck, he's popular up here, man. Like, Jesus Christ, there's Complete stickers on every fucking third car. And I'm like, he can't be that popular. And I went up closer, and it's a fucking Complete Automotive, and it's the same logo, man. So
bullshit.
Either fucking they've both used Fiverr and been fucked, or someone's the automotive company have got him, but it's fucking everywhere. So
wow, that's crazy.
Shit, not every third or fourth car, and
that's nuts, man. Pretty good promo.
Yeah, had a bit of a giggle. And I was at a client's house the other night, and on the back of his car, there's a Grilly Grow Up sticker on.
Really?
On the back of his car, and I sent it to him. Like, yeah.
Nice. Was that Grilly sticker or?
Yeah, it was a real Grilly sticker and had Grilly Grow Up and a Denny sticker on the back of the car.
Yeah, wow, that's cool.
Yeah, funny shit.
Yeah, man, hip hop gets out there.
Yeah, you don't know where it's going to go, eh? All right, so what's your what's with the name, mate? Where'd the name come from?
Maggot Mouf. Well, typical rapper back in the day, in fucking 2000, I'd use my initials, DC, like DC in the battle theme, whatever. Obviously, that was lame as fuck and not catchy. So when I went back to Melbourne, like I'm hitting up Checkers, like, man, I need a name before I put out a song. I think I really needed to get a name for Visiting Hours. That was my first release through Broken Tooth.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck, I need a name because I don't want to be DC on that CD. Like, fuck me dead. That'd be horrible. And then I'll be stuck with it, or I feel like I'm stuck with it. So I think I wrote something online or something like that, just Maggot Mouf. Because, we just call each other all types of gross shit, all us mates,
Yeah.
Just like you're a cunt parrot, or just combining words constantly, like you're a fuck nose, you're a fucking knob jockey, you need that sort of catchiness. So it was mouth for a bit, like fuck, like can't pay me out about my tooth and shit. And I was like, fuck you, whatever. It's my maggot mouth that's gonna fucking get you. And then I think Checkers brought it up. He's like, man, just why don't you be maggot mouth? And he read it somewhere for something, and I'm like, yeah, right, lock it in. And then yeah, next week CD's been off depressing, and it's just like you're maggot mouth now. Okay.
There we go.
Me. And I think they actually spelled it Mouth as well, because I would have spelled it like that.
Ah.
But then, with change, I'm like, just chuck an F in there. Fuck it. 'Cause that's how I say mouth anyway, so.
I like those little things where you might get an early release and it's, and it's spelled differently. A lot of motions, like people, motion from a joy. He's motion, right?
Yeah.
Motion. And then a couple of people started calling him Motions when he would start going over to Melbourne, and they'd call him, Motions. And then some releases, he's Moeshuns, like Motions, and it's like...
Hard to keep up.
Yeah.
I remember actually New Sense, like, having a go at me because it was the next release. It was another compilation or whatever after visiting hours. I was like, Mouth. And I'm like, all right, next release I want Mouf.
Yeah.
And New Sense was like, man, you fucking already said TH. Like, that's it. And I'm like, no, I want to change it. I want the F. Like, I don't like TH. Never did. And we kind of had that thing, and I was like, all right, so it's F from now on. He's like, don't fucking change it again. I'm like, oh, yeah, like. Very good.
What came out recently, Checkers dropped something. I think, did he do Dental Records too or something like that? And, chest sounds too.
Yeah.
And I fucking swear, I'm like, who's that rapping man? I thought it was RZA, right? And I had to look at the cover, and it was Stewie. So I'm like, man, he's got old. Like, I totally didn't recognize him, and I've been a fan for years, mate. And and I've spoken to him and fucking
He used to have that sort of like gentle approach to rap.
Yeah,
I don't know, like he had a nice voice, like the voice of an angel or something. You could almost, back in the day, you could almost compare him to Hijack. They had that same kind of
that laid
harmony. It was kind of a little bit high pitched harmony.
Yeah, that's
in
cool.
the rap shit,
Not
which is dope. I respected New Sense hard. I thought he was like one of the best on BT for ages.
Yeah, he's good.
Then I got to know him. Then I'm like, fuck that guy.
Clever rapper, very clever.
Yeah, definitely. Smart dude, man.
Yeah,
smart dude. He's actually recently moved back to Canberra too.
So you're in Canberra now, are you?
I am. Yeah, I've been here the last 3 years.
Yeah, right.
That bird I married in Vegas, she lived here, so I was like, I've got to pack up and move here now. But the thing was, Torrance was already living here, and now Stewie lives here as well. So
yeah, that spun me out when I spoke to Torrance that he's there now.
Yeah.
So,
you wouldn't think it, eh? Like,
no.
And it was funny when I moved to Perth, Torrance was there for a little bit too.
Yeah, right.
I don't know who's following who, but yeah. Man, I would have never thought we'd end up in Canberra, especially Torrance.
Wasn't Stewie Stewie and Checkers are both from there originally, aren't they?
Yeah. I think they're probably about the only ones. Like Natso and Reese for Canberra as well.
Far out. And obviously Howie and the other coolism.
Yeah, I guess all hospice crew was all Canberra.
Yeah, that's even going back again. Hospice guys, you guys are fucking. It's hard to keep up, but it's good. I like it. You got Chest Sounds. You got Dental Records. It's good, man. It keeps people. It keeps like people like myself. I'll buy anything that Checkmate ever drops, just out of respect, man.
Yeah.
Because I know how hard he works, so I just buy anything he ever drops. But I love the little crossovers. Everything
man.
he does, there's always tiny little, overlappings and little going back to that term Easter eggs.
That's what music was, when we were buying CDs in the 2000s, like late 90s. It was like you hear a guest rapper on that album, and then the next year that guest rapper would be signed to that label and have his own album.
Yeah.
Like, oh shit, man, that's where that was coming from. Sick.
Yeah, No Limit did it well. They were just grabbing people. You'd hear them, boom, next minute they're getting a lot of focus.
Yeah,
You know,
Imagine how many I don't even know how many albums they've released, man. Ridiculous.
There's some statistic about him. I'm going to get this wrong, but he's the youngest black male to make the most amount of money in the shortest time, or something like that.
He sold like, and it was mostly street selling out of his trunk or whatever, but he sold like 500 million worth in a year or something.
Crazy.
Something ridiculous. I saw it on Louis Theroux when he went and hung out with him.
That must be
that
what
shit
I
was
saw.
funny.
Yeah, so it's some crazy statistic like that. The youngest black male to make that much money in the amount of time. Like, so he's not the richest, but he did it in some like
did it real quick,
world-breaking
and
time.
Didn't have to. Yeah, there was no bags involved or scales or all just music.
Yeah, fucking hell, man. America, hey. So before I jump to Perth, because you were over there for a while, I just want to talk about F the W that you did a track with Guts.
Yeah,
killer track. Can we ever, or are we ever going to see a Guts and Mouth release, like a album?
Fuck, who knows, man? Maybe. I mean, yeah, we're just so flat out at the moment. Guts is actually like full-time carer for my mum at the moment too.
Yeah, right.
So he's like flat out. She had an aneurysm last year and brain surgery, yada yada, all that shit.
Sorry, bro.
Hospital now. She's kind of sort of regaining, I guess, her memory is pretty shot and stuff. So yeah, he's basically been a full-time carer all this year.
Jesus.
And I'm up here and fucking 2 baby mamas and a job and yada yada. So who knows, man? If it happens, it'll be like me and Guts together for a week, and then whatever we come up with in that week will be the album.
Yeah,
that's how it'll work, I reckon.
Far out. So you don't see him much? Do you speak to him much?
Yeah, when I can, man. When I can.
Funny bugger. Funny bugger.
Yeah, fucking know.
Yeah.
Always on the go.
Yeah, he's a funny man. All right, so let's talk about Perth. So you were in Perth for a while, and you were over there back when we went over for the Hunter Cups and that, weren't you?
Yeah, I was there probably a year by the time the Hunter Cup come, I think. Jesus. That was a mad night, by the way. That was sick. So that was the last time I would have seen you.
Nah.
That was before that.
Saw you no late.
Yeah.
Again, we'll need lawyers if we went into that.
Yeah.
That weekend.
Yeah.
That was
so
heavy.
Oh shit, man.
Oh, shit.
So many questionable things.
Wouldn't change it for the world, mate.
Nah, not for shit.
So what you doing? You're over there knocking around with Shaker and Cogs. And you made a crew.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, for us. It was something different that we've ever done, and that was just having two producers working with each other and 2 rappers working with each other. So we're like, it started off. I think we got a raffle beat because Cogs. Actually, I think I shared a Cogs video. It was like Cogs and Sever, because I knew Sever from before that. Like, me and Sever was always kicking. If I was in Perth, I'd hit him up. If he was in Melbourne, he'd hit me up. So I've known Sever like the longest out of any WA person. Like, and he was the gateway into the psych ward and meeting Cogs and all that shit.
Yeah, right.
But basically, I shared a video with Sever and Cogs. I can't remember what it's called, but Cogs hit me up because Cogs only had, I think maybe not even an album out then. Might have had a mixtape, something. He was like coming up. He was just coming up. And he's like, thanks heaps for sharing my song, man. Just kind of fanboying me. And I'm like, fuck off, fag. Like, I just shared your song because I like your shit, whatever. And he's like, we should do a track. And I was like, you know what, man? I like the style. Fucking oath. I think I heard a track about his mum too. And I was like, this cunt. I was like, man, Cogs is on some shit. Like, he's going to be coming up. So he hit me up a beat. He's like, let's get in touch with Raffle. And I'd met Raffle before as well, kind of knew him. So, and I was hanging out with Raffle a bit. As soon as I got there, I'm like, who the fuck's the producer? I need to hang out with producers, with studios. I need to just get to what I was doing in Melbourne to feel like I'm at home.
Yeah.
So I'd just go hang out with Raffle or go hang out with Shaker just be like, man, just let me in the studio. I don't care what I'm doing here. Just want to be there because I fucking love it. So anyway, we do this song, me and Cogs, and we did it in like fucking an hour or some shit. And we're like, let's do another song. Like, yeah, okay. I think we did like 2 or 3 songs in the one day. Went and recorded them all. Then we're like, man, kind of got enough. Because, yeah, we got a rappel beat, did that. And then I think we got a shaker beat, did that. And then another rappel beat. And we're like, Cogs is like, why don't we just make an album, man? And by then, my first kid was pretty young. And I was like, fuck, I'm kind of just getting into working. And maybe I don't want to make an album. I'm not sure. Yeah, okay, let's do it. Fuck it. Like, it'll just keep me busy anyway. So and that's how it popped off. And then it just become a thing of like, we just G'd each other up. Shaker would be like, here's fuckloads of beats. And Rappel would be like, here's fuckloads of beats. Me and Cogs would just be like arguing for a month on what's the best beats. Because we already knew we could write 3 songs or record 3 songs in one session. So every time we'd be like, here's the 3 beats we chose. Let's write. Meet at Shakers. Damn, that's another 3. So within like 6 months, we finished an album. And it was just that easy. But then, 6 months of mixing and mastering and all that shit.
Yeah. Shaker,
pull it off, yeah.
Shaker, I don't know where he came from, man. Like, obviously, it's been around for a long time now, but fuck, he just sort of stepped on the scene and just went nuts, didn't he, eh?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I think,
so
it must have been as soon as he built the studio.
Yeah, I remember watching it. I remember watching him build it. But it's like, I've followed SBX and know all the boys for years, and it's just all of a sudden, you start hearing Rob Shaker.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't so polished, man. The sound is so polished and
clean. Because I think those guys were going there to record, before Shaker had that name out there, because his sound was that good. He had a fucking amazing sound. So everyone in WA kind of wanted to use him. Like, fucking going to the Shakers, like 100%. Studio was that good. And then I think it was only when, around the time I was living there, was when he finally got dropped into SBX. So he wasn't there in the long haul. He's like the newest recruit, I guess.
Yeah.
If you call it that.
I hit him up for nerd questions every now and then. I'm like, oh, what do I do here? How do I do this? And he fucking...
Super helpful.
He knows what he's doing, man, eh?
He does. He's got the answer for it. He just goes, let's do this. And even if you're not happy...
Yeah.
In the studio, if you're not happy with your rap, he's like, here's a solution on how to fix it. I'm like, sick.
Crazy. And it didn't do too much for us on the footy field.
Yeah. Fucking lazy bastard. Well, there was the shit you were saying. You were like, because you were commentating a bit while I was there, and you were like, oh, just like his mixtape, you can't give it away.
Oh, that was
Can't throw it away or something.
Oh, mate, Elacor.
The name?
Elacor.
Elacor, that's it.
Shout outs to Elacor. Yeah, I know. I was a bit cheeky. Because you come up in the box, didn't you?
I had nothing to say, man. I was so toasted by the end. It's like, that game just started. I'm already fucking drunk. And I'm just like, the footy.
Me and your brother went...
Yeah. Hell yeah. What a party. And that show afterwards. Ooh.
That was nuts, hey?
Yeah. It was so good, man.
Yeah. Fucking tram.
Yeah. Just having every Melbourne mate there in WA. For me, I was like, this is fucking heaven. Am I dreaming?
Yeah. Well, I got up and freestyle and Trem was on the stage and I was the same.
Wow.
I'm like, I remember buying amateurs.
Yeah. Fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
Trem's a mate, cunt. It was like just everyone there, hey?
Yeah.
Like, it was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I'm glad
Crazy thing to organise.
Glad I was...
Fucking big up by C for organising.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
what a nutcase.
Got to get him on too, yeah. Just... Yeah, created some history there, didn't he? Poor old...
Yeah. You listen to his last release?
Which one? He's got so much coming out.
I never remember album name.
I probably bought it on vinyl and it's sitting there unplayed, mate.
Probably laminated on your wall. Never to be played ever.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. So, do you need to go and sort out your little fella?
He's sorted now. I just gave him a fucking lollipop. That's all I could do, man.
Parenting 101. So just couple more things, man. Then I'll let you go. I know you're busy, Dad. So what are you doing now? You're doing youth work. Are you still a youth worker?
Yeah, well, I took like a year and a half off, maybe close to 2 years, like while I was sorting out my divorce and shit like that. That shit takes time, so I basically like just fucking quit my job, and I was like, fuck it, I'll focus on this shit because I hate doing too many things at once. I'm going to do something like I want to do it proper. Anyway, long story short, got some coin, got some property like out central New South Wales, and just
that's what
just worked on that.
Yeah, that's what. Well, let's jump straight to that then, because that's pretty interesting. And then we'll deep dive into that, and then I'll ask you a couple funny little questions, and I'll let you go. So I've got that written here that you're aspiring to, from what I can see, that you're aspiring to live off the grid. So tell us about it. What's the deal?
Yeah. So got the coin up again after cleared some debts, whatever, and then straight away I'm like, well, I was kind of researching this idea of glamping, you know, because like glamorous camping, whatever, you probably heard of it.
Yep.
It's like, people that couldn't be fucked bringing all the shit that want to camp in nature. So I'm like, man, with all the COVID shit, no one's going anywhere. And that's all I was kind of doing. I bought like a camper van and I was just cruising around. I was literally sleeping in that for like 6 months, just in like winter in Canberra. It was pretty rank, but it was a mad experience too. Because I kind of got that to live in until I found the perfect property. So anyway, I found this property near Cowra. I'm like, got it for a steal. Sweet as. It's enough for me. It's only half an acre. But it's like, there's enough trees for me. It wasn't like too cultivated and chopped down and fucked up by animals. So I was like, this is the jam. So with the rest of my time off after buying the property, I just, got a shipping container, made that my home. And then because it's subdivided on the other lot, I just made like a glamping site, basically for a passive income kind of thing. Like,
mad.
If cunts want to book it for Easter or whatever, just go for it, you know. And it's like, just slap $100 a night on it. It's like half an acre where people go and camp and they literally don't have to bring a thing, man. Like, I've got jiffies and lighters and mozzie sprays and tents and beds and just set that up, and it's kind of working. But like I'm not in debt with a mortgage on it, so I don't give a fuck if it works. I just enjoyed building it. So basically got that together, and then had a few bookings over Christmas. I'm like, okay, it's actually working because I only finished it in December. This whole New Year's like just a new venture for me, and just seeing how it goes from there. And if it doesn't work, then I'll just sell one of the blocks in a couple of years anyway and make some coins. So.
Yeah, that's sick.
It's good to have that freedom, man, because I got sick of mortgages. I had like mortgages for like, I had back to back like a house in a mortgage, sold that, got money, got another house even worth more with a fucking even bigger mortgage. Yeah. So to have like actual cash back from all the hard work I did in the other houses and just bought it with cash without fucking with banks and lying on forms just to say I'm worthy of this loan. Like, I was like, this is heaven for me, man. So spent a good 4 or 5 months there living off grid while I was building on there. So turning this shipping container into like a livable space with windows and fires and fans and
showers,
like shit like that. Shower, toilet. Took some long time out, a lot of mistakes. Like, don't get me started about toilet. Fucking dead. It was some disgusting times. But it was good. Like, and Torrance, I'd come back to Canberra, or Torrance even would come up there and help me and shit, build some of the stuff because he was loving it up there too. And I'd be like, man, this fucking toilet, I'm fixing these pipes and digging holes by hand, like in clay. Like, literally, if I dug a hole that fit I used like a wheelie bin for a septic tank and did little pipes underground. So to dig a hole that could fit a whole wheelie bin in, like one of the big ones, it literally took me like a month, man, because it was that hard of clay. Like, and I had picks and shovels and everything, but I had to gypsum it and just wait and water it, and then like it was hectic, man. Like so much work. But then Torrance would be like, "Man, you're not working, so that you cleaning out that shit or fixing your mistakes is you're living off grid, man. Isn't that what you're doing?" I'm like, oh yeah, true, shit. That's my life now. Just trying to figure out how to live off grid. which is like a job in itself, man. It really is.
Yeah, my brother does it. He lives. Well,
Mad.
he's got electricity, but he's got no running water. So it's all.
That's the worst.
So
Yeah.
you've got to go and collect this water. Then he pumps it up to the top of the roof, and everything's gravity fed.
Yeah, wow.
And
Gravity fed.
And when I say he's got electricity, so he generates his own electricity from solar.
Yeah, solar.
So
yeah.
there's no bills. So 50 grand.
Yeah.
50
Beautiful.
grand. He's got the land. It's a big shed
Yeah.
that's decked out into a house, and he's a
That's it,
he's a
man.
very simple man, and he's
Fuck yeah.
he's happy, and
Oh,
he
delight.
doesn't want to know about it, man. Like he's doesn't have a fucking smartphone, doesn't have internet.
Yeah.
It's like
Probably not a care in the fucking world too.
nah, mate. Fucking
Yeah.
he was out there, and he had cancer and he beat it, but he would have to drive like 3 hours to the closest hospital, and they're like, oh, we tried to tried to contact you. He's like, oh, I don't have a phone. So everything was done by mail, but he just, he can't a piss, bag of dope, and he's happy. His kids,
Yeah. Oh, so man, once you get rid of everything, because downsizing to live in a container, like I got rid of so much shit that I was collecting. Like I'll be collecting original Nintendo shit for years, and I took it down to the store and I was like, just give me a shitty price for this because I'm getting rid of it. It was scary, but at the same time so comforting, man. And living in a camper van too, you're like, wow, I could fit 5 pairs of jocks in here, maybe 3 pairs of pants. You know what I mean? Like you're really counting down what you need,
what's important,
and to feel comfortable, I guess, daily.
Yeah, man.
You don't need to collect shit. You don't need like trinkets. You don't need things on the shelves that you never use. Just like, what's the point?
I'm so guilty of it, and I'm looking.
Oh, we all are.
I'm looking around the room now. Like I got 10 grand on one table worth of studio equipment, which is important to me. But
when you got a full-time job and you come home, you want that shit to look at home. But when you're like living off grid and you're not working, you don't need that shit because you're outdoors so much. You're just appreciating everything, trying to plant trees or fucking on some widgety grubs to eat or whatever.
Well, that's what my brother said when I go to visit him. He's like, put that fucking thing down and see what you're doing through your own eyes, mate.
Yeah.
He goes, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm taking photos and I'm sending it to Joe Blow. He's like, I don't want them to see it. And two,
I love that attitude.
I don't have your attention, So when I go visit him, I just put my phone down, and it's quite, what's the word? It's refreshing, It's like a little reset.
It really is, man.
I've done the same thing. So I've got a few projects on the go, and I've gone into like higher education. I'm studying, so I've pissed off Facebook and pretty much pissed off Instagram.
Yeah,
I still got the Instagram page for the podcast.
Yeah, this promo and that.
And have a little bit of a look every now and then. But it's so funny.
Decluttering.
In that first week, you still just grab for your phone to go and look, and it's like, hang on, so I've delete the app. So if I want to go,
it's crazy you have to delete too, eh?
Yeah, and so for me to go on and look on Instagram, I've got to download the app again, log in, and then you go on there and you open it up and you're like, oh, was that worth it? Just to see if someone's fucking liked the photo. So I've just reduced that, but I have been thinking about like downsizing, and I just gave a whole heap of fucking clothes away. When I moved up here, I had like 50 fucking hoodies and jackets, and it's Queensland, mate. Like
it's crazy,
I don't need them, so I gave all them away. But I've been thinking about.
Like you should have sold them, man.
Yeah, I did. I sold a few, but some of them that weren't like all the Carhartt shit that still got fucking tags on it that are just too much money thrown around.
Yeah, I just done that recently. Is sold all my hip hop tees, and I never thought I would sell my hip hop tees, man. And BTE tees, HG tees.
Well, I'm doing that too. I'm doing that at the moment too. But there's people out there who are going through what I went through back then now. So there's like there's people who want it more, and I'm like, well, if
Yeah.
I'm going to sell it to you, and you're going to fucking hang it on the roof of your studio, and that's going to make you feel better, then it's better than
Yeah.
being in my bottom drawer. You know?
Yeah, fucking
And
oath.
you'd be surprised what fucking people pay for them, you know.
Yeah, exactly, man. Chuck it on eBay for $1 and see what happens.
So I'm looking at my records. That's the next thing is like, can I sell my
Yeah.
vinyl? Because I just
It's a hard one.
I am so emotionally attached to them. And then
Yeah.
when the floods came through up here, I wasn't affected. Not where I live wasn't affected. The roads and shit,
Yeah.
and my car was. But
Yeah, well,
I know some people down, like fucking Catch, Resin Dog Studio got fucking rinsed, got fucked out.
Yeah.
So anyone who's listening, if you want to flick some money to
Wow.
them, they're rebuilding
That's
the
fucked,
studio.
man.
So if you go and see DJ,
like all equipment fried.
yeah, man, yeah. So
Wow.
anyone listening, you want to go
Crazy.
to DJ Catch's page? He's got a GoFundMe thing going. They deserve it. Hydrofunk have been
There's
around
probably
for a
like
minute.
$250,000 worth of shit in there.
Yeah, so pretty heartbreaking, man. But I said to my missus, I'm like, I reckon I would run in the house, I'd grab all the photos, and then I'd probably start grabbing my records. And she's like,
Yeah.
really? You know,
Yeah,
like,
fuck the clothes.
are
everything
they
else.
that important to you? And I'm like, yeah, because
Yeah, because you had them so long.
yeah, and they can't be replaced. You
Yeah.
know, you can't go and get obesity again. You know,
Nah.
you can't go and get, Hunter Records again. You know,
Fucking right.
or if you do, you're going to be paying for them. So that'll be my last
Yeah.
thing. But I met a bloke
Yeah,
recently,
I guess-
and he's done the same thing. He decluttered, and he travels around the country. And I met him just like randomly at my gym. He was just in there. He's just like, I'm here for 2 weeks, and I'm just training.
Yeah.
And he was a vinyl collector, and he goes, that's how he's funding his the rest of his life. He goes, he's got that many from
selling them.
Yeah. So he just
Yeah,
goes,
wow.
okay, I need $500. Bang, there he goes. So, but I don't
Yeah,
know,
shit.
man. A bit of
Well, if you need to take 6 months off, just do that.
yeah,
Might as well. Like save them for a rainy day. If you're not moving anymore and you're staying in the same spot for a bit, fuck man, I'd hang on to records for sure.
yeah, it's a hard one.
It is a hard one.
Well,
Yeah,
I sold my fucking motorbike, and that killed me.
yeah.
It killed me.
It's- yeah, but you do get used to it, man. Because them times where you go to a party or whatever, you have the freshest jacket on because you're trying to mac bird.
Yeah.
And then you probably do mac and bird, leave your jacket at the party. You never see your jacket again. Jacket's $800. Is your favorite jacket. You get over it, man.
Yeah.
It's like, I lose like 10 jackets a year, and it's like, what's the point? Like,
Yeah.
and it gets easier. And when you've only got a 20-foot container to store your shit, you're like, yeah, I need to.
What's
not
important
have
right
this-
now? A fucking can opener.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. I figured out what was important, man, like real quick when it comes to, when I first bought the property and I was in the camper van, it was just pissing down rain. It was like the worst rain they've had, or they had a drought 5 years before that, and they're saying, this is the rainiest fucking season. I'm like, great, so I can't really do anything here except sort of work on my container and shift shit around, dig holes. I planted trees. So I'm glad I did it then because the ground is so fucking hard.
Yeah. Well, you got fruit trees in there, and sustainable.
Yeah,
shit.
trees are expensive, man. So far, I've got an apple tree and a lemon tree. The standard ones.
Yeah.
And because it's so much clay,
Oh,
I
yeah.
can't grow shit like avocados, even though it's great weather for them. Like certain things like that. And because I have no sprinkler systems or running water, it's
Yeah,
like
true.
I water my plants when I get there. And if you look at Cowra, weather, it's like 4 weeks of 30. Like
Yeah.
that's it.
Yeah.
And you're like, fucking hell. Even with the El Nino, like the rain was just sort of not getting there. It was getting around the sides, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's a tough one, man. Like, I just want more trees because I know that'll make it cooler,
Yeah.
having more shade. I dug a pond there to put some water in. I've been looking at permaculture too, like
Yeah.
shaping the ground
Yeah.
so I guess manipulate the water to go where I want it
Yeah.
when it rains.
Yeah.
But it's so flat, so I have no slopes. So yeah, just working all that shit out. But water's the number 100% thing that has been the ongoing, like, oh, fuck. Like, now I've got to take these 5 20-litre tubs up to the, like, I'm luckily enough, I've got, like, a public park, like a under 5 minute drive from the property.
Yeah.
So I'll go there, fill them up, and come back with 1,000 litres in 5 different tubs. And then I'm like, okay, let's water. Like I've got a water tank there, but it just doesn't rain that much. So when I go there, the water tank's gone after I water every fucking plant.
Crazy. I've never seen so much rain in my fucking life than last month.
I bet.
Last month
Up there.
Last month it was
Dude.
fucking ridiculous. I've never seen anything like it.
And that's legit. You're saying you've never seen that amount of rain your whole life.
Yeah, hardcore, man.
Yeah, crazy, eh?
Like, I was stupid. Like, there's a big campaign up here. Like, don't drive your car through. You know.
Oh, you're one of them, were you?
And no, I know my car, man. And so there's one I got through, and then I went out to get a pizza with my lad. And we got to this section. I'm like, I can get through there. Yeah, that's all right. And then fucking boom, down it goes. It drops, and it was like my headlights were underwater, and I'm in a fucking big Prado lift kit, and it starts to stall, and I'm like, oh fuck, man, I'm in a pair of fucking bluey pajamas and a tank top. No, we got through. We limped out of it.
So, like, did you get to it stop? Or, like, you sort of kept that momentum going?
Oh, we got to about under walking pace, and I was just fucking bouncing, and you can hear it chugging. My son's going, what's going on, Dad? What's going on? Because we've got a rule: if we go Forbian, don't freak out until Dad freaks out.
Yeah,
and he saw me freak out. So lesson learnt as a dumb South Australian. So I told a few people up here, and they're like, "You're a fucking idiot!" Like, you're in Queensland now,
moron.
But it was just, it was really, really strange to see that much fucking water around, man. Like, 3-4 feet of water and just taking people's houses out in sections,
like a day. In a day,
it's just fucking everywhere, and you just hear it hit your roof, fucking.
Yeah, because you're like, where the fuck does it go to? Once the drains are full. And it's all up on the roads and shit. You're like, where's it going now? It has nowhere to go except get deeper.
Yeah, well...
Yeah, and we've had it all, man, the last couple of years. Floods and fires and pandemics. And
yeah, it's been...
As soon as it rains frogs, man, I'm off to my property. I'm locking the door. I'm going to eat acid tabs and smoke weed. Just hope for the best.
What's the end goal to live out there? Live off the grid?
Well, I mean... I've been in property a bit now, man. This is like the third property I bought, and the last two I built houses on them. So this one's more like a fuck you to, developers and builders. And I'm like, as long as I can afford the land without a mortgage, I don't need some arsehole to build my house. I can just put a container there and just hope for the best. I mean, it's going to cost a fair bit of money for me to legally live there. Like, I've already had the council pull me up. They come busting me one day, like, what are you doing? You live here. We've seen your toilet. And I'm like, nah, man, I don't live here. Like, yeah, you do. I'm like, nah, prove it. Sort of thing, like.
So what do they want, rates? Shit. They want rates if you're living there?
Nah, they were just like, because you're not allowed to live there, obviously. But I looked into the laws with the glamping stuff. You can camp for 48 hours at your property, like, in a row. So, and my bookings, I'm usually like, just 2 days type thing. Don't book it. You can book up to 4, but I'm like, I prefer 2 days, whatever. Because you can legally do that, but I can't. Yeah, I can't just go there and live there for fucking months. What I've been doing. I think the neighbours must have dobbed in or something.
That's bullshit, though, eh? Like,
yeah, my land, man.
The government,
like,
trying to leave less of a footprint, and when they saw the toilet, they got real shitty. They're like, "You got a toilet here? That's disgusting. Where's your shit going?" I'm like, I don't have it. Fuck you, man. Just get off my property. Like, I don't live here. I don't have to answer this shit. Just go away. And then, so, because I've had no problems with the septic, but, from their angle, they're like, oh, your waste is toxic, and if it goes into the soil and gets into the water, but there's no rivers around. And basically, if I want a real septic, it all starts at septic when you're going to build, especially off grid. So if I want a septic to start my whole build a madhouse legally venture on my property, that's 10 grand. I need 10 grand straight up just to get the septic tank in the ground. It's got to be a proper government approved metal stainless.
Yeah. All that shit. 3-tier. like the 3-tier septics where they go into one bucket, then another bucket, all underground, then another bucket, then they leach out liquid to the earth. They want all that shit, man. So
this conversation got interesting real quick.
toilets, man. There's like toilets and water. Fuck. They're just You can get a Inferno toilet for $5,000 though.
What's that? Burns it?
Yeah, you just close the lid, turn it on, burns your turds, and it just comes out like little like raisins, I guess. Yeah, so that saved me the trouble.
All right, which puts me straight on to your next thing. Are you still making music? What's your next album going to be about?
Yeah, just daily life as my other albums have. Just all what I'm doing at the time in my life. So it'd be like being a dad, dealing with baby mamas, living off grid. It'll probably have to be a country album. Man,
Are you still actively doing music?
Not really, man. The last song I released was like 2 years ago.
We've got that joint. I got that joint of ours floating around somewhere.
No shit.
Yeah.
Release it, mate. Put it out there.
Holy fuck beats, this beat is crazy. Like the way I've been living lately, shit is hazy. Too much blazy, makes me crazy. Makes me say things and not think I'm caught in a daydream. I stay clean, I'm a rap.
Yeah.
All right, mate. So, got a couple corny ones that I ask everyone. What have I missed here? Yeah, no, we've covered a fair bit. That's an hour and a half. We'll chop out a little bit.
Yeah, mate.
First one.
Yeah. Hopefully people haven't got bored by now. They want to hear my shit. You never know.
People be Googling Maggot Mouf and septic tanks right now.
Yeah. Best approach to take a shit. Yeah.
So, okay, what I got here is, because you're in hip hop, top 5 dead or alive rappers.
Biggie, man, he's up there. Yep. I mean, as corny as it is, Biggie. Big L as well. Yeah, fucking right. Big L. Big L changed the way I rap. For sure, I wanted to be that dude, man.
Really?
Running with mate, it's like fucking. You're running with mates, I'm running with men. I'll be running with mates until I'm 110. You go like, damn. I don't know, man. It's like the shit. Big L is, Big L's up there.
He just had that one album, didn't he?
Yeah, and then the next album was after he died, so it was like a half-assed album.
And it was so influential, like so many cuts on other music is from that Big L album. All right, so Biggie, Big L.
KRF-One, man, because, I listened to him when I was a kid, when I was 12.
Yeah.
I'm like, KRF, yeah, he's so cool.
Yeah, he's dope.
And, man, he had a show, like, on a side note, he had a show in Melbourne one night. Long story short, he goes, cut the lights! And I wasn't allowed backstage then because I think I was banned from there or whatever. And he cut the lights. I jumped on the barrier, ran through the backstage, saw Bias. Bias is like, how the fuck do you get back here? I'm like, man, I'm here. I don't care. I've got to meet KRS-One. And he's like, all right, have a lanyard. He just had a spare lanyard, like a VIP pass. So then I'm waiting for KRS. I finally get there. I'm like, oh shit, man, KRS just said some dumb white boy shit, like, whatever. Shook his fucking giant hands. And I was like, in awe, just like, man, I met KRS-One. Like, because he had to catch a boat all the way because he doesn't fly. It was like 4 weeks in a boat just to get here. I'm like, he made it. I thought I'd never see this guy. Yeah. Like, that was on some shit. But get this, I shake his hand, whatever. He's like, eventually gets a security guard over. He's like, basically, who's that cracker here? Who's that fucking cracker back here? I don't want that cunt here. So the security guard comes over like, what the fuck are you doing here? And I was like, I got a VIP pass, motherfucker. Like, what do you mean? And that was it. So I got to stay there and shit. But after that, I'm like, kind of, well, like, I love you, KRS, but you hate my guts. Yeah. You don't even know me. Yeah. Like, fuck you, man.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't pay to meet your heroes, man.
Nah, it doesn't.
I've met a few where I've gone, oh, really? And then some I've gone on to meet them and just gone, fucking hell, that was amazing. But I try not to anymore. I just go, g'day, how are you? You know.
Yeah, exactly. Because you don't care. Mm. You don't care what they think about.
There's a few people I'm trying to get on the show, and they're huge influences on me growing up. You know, and they're like, yeah, and then like, well, let's lock it in. Nah, it doesn't happen. And then I'll get fucking missed calls at 3 a.m. What's going on, man? like, what's happening with this
No shit.
podcast? You said we're gonna do this fucking podcast, and I'm like, I say,
Who are you
man,
talking about? Vinny Pads or something? That sounded like Vinny Pads.
I don't know.
Podcast, man.
Nah,
Necro.
I've still got him on the hook. I don't want to say who because it's
Yeah.
huge, man. Like for me, it's
Yeah.
fucking huge.
Keep it under wrap.
But I'll tell you when we get off.
Yeah.
But I get these random missed calls at like 3 a.m, and I'm just like, man, you have to understand. Like, I'm in Australia, you know, like so.
Time zones.
Yeah, man. And then I'll send him a whole list. We can do it here. And does this work for you? Did the morning work for you? Nothing.
Yeah.
And then like 3 or 4 weeks later, missed call. Yo, man, are we
That's
doing this
almost how, like,
podcast?
It's almost how Melbourne cunts are. They're just like they'll be like Taines or someone and be like, oh man, I'm playing a gig in Canberra tomorrow. You coming or what? I'm like, man, what? Why didn't you fucking tell me? Like, do you think I'm just going to be able to show up and do stuff straight away? Like, it's such a Melbourne thing too. And we're all guilty of it. It's more like, I want to do something right now. Who's keen? And if you're not keen now, fuck you. I won't be keen for weeks after that. Good way to be, I guess, off the cuff. Like, let's go. Get shit done.
All right, that's 3. 2 more.
Rappers. Man, I have to say myself.
Word.
Kanye. Nah. Yeah, that's hard, man. It's getting harder. Wu-Tang. Chuck Wu-Tang in there.
Yep.
They changed my life.
Yep.
And I'll throw some off one out there, like Kevin Gates, man. Kevin Gates is changing my life at the moment.
Really?
Yeah. Dude, that cunt has so much music out, and he's so fucking real. He's probably the realest actual gangster rapper I've heard for a long time.
Yeah, right. I'll have to have a look.
Great, man. It's blowing my mind. Yeah, Kevin Gates.
I'm not familiar. I'll have a look. All right.
And you know when you're older, it gets harder to find new rappers that blow your mind.
Yeah.
Like, I'm always on the search. Fucking hard.
It is, man. I just let Spotify do it for me. Is there anyone?
Yeah.
Is there anyone? One person that you'd really, really love to collab with?
Yeah, there'd be a bunch, man. Probably, you know, and I'm thinking realistically who would actually want to collab with me as well. So I'm being realistic about this. And maybe like someone just a bit off cuff, like Talib Kweli or like AZ or some shit like that, you know. Or fuck, if he was alive, DMX, I guess. You know, one of them.
That'd be a good fit.
One of them rappers that kind of I admired and almost got popular, but aren't anymore. Like an older rapper or something.
DMX
So
would be a good fit.
Yeah, that'd be sick. Where my dogs at?
I looked into doing a joint with Cool Keith, but he and I've got this fucking because I've made this beat and it just stinks of him. And there's a little like 6 degrees of separation, and I spoke to him about it. There's let's just say there's a girl, and there's 6 degrees of separation that we could rap about.
Yeah,
and he's like, yo, that's a great idea, man. And then he dropped the price tag on me, and I'm like, nah.
How much?
$1,500 US.
1,500.
Yeah, so that's
well for a verse. You know he's going to freestyle it, man. You know he's just going to talk some shit.
Yeah, well, that's what was and that's what was good with working with Raz. Like he was here. We come up with the concept, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm down with that." And I did the same with Rusty Jukes. I'm like, "Look, this is what it's going to be about." It worked. You know, you don't want Cool Keith coming in.
That's making a song.
Cool Keith coming in and going, light bulbs, bottles,
laser beams, and Victorian alligator people. Yeah, it'd be, man, because he's a cunt to work with. I've done like 3 shows with Cool Keith, like opened up for him 3 separate times, like over the years. And he's a weird individual. Yeah, and he's hard to gauge. And by the 3rd time I supported him, his set was that fucking shit. I was like, I'm going, man. This guy's like breaking my heart. I used to love this guy. Ultramagnetic MC, and it's like, and he was literally just trying to rap over his backtrack live, like the voices were in there, the lyrics were in there, and he was getting them wrong.
Jesus.
You know, so it was like he was trying to rap a different freestyle over a song that already had his lyrics in the song.
Yeah.
I was like, this is just too confusing for me, man. I'm out.
Yeah. Sometimes you just got to tap out, I reckon.
Yeah, but 1,500, who knows, man? It could be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
We'll go halves.
That's
Chuck me on it.
That's US. That's probably
Oh shit!
over
yeah,
$2,000 Australian. I'm not down.
Yeah, right.
I'm not down for that. All right.
Yeah.
So what I do, I was thinking. So this is season 3 of the Get Down. I was going to change this question.
Congrats on that, by the way, man.
Cheers,
Turning
man.
it out.
I had a
Keep doing it.
big ass hiatus. So I thank you for sort of putting the fire under my ass.
No worries.
Because
Good timing with the releases. I'm like, who do I hit up?
yeah,
Hit up Pete.
It's been a long time, but I'll sort of address it at the start of the show about what's been going on and why.
Yeah.
So what I do, I'm sticking to my signature question, which is, I don't know if you listen to the show, it's the fortune cookie question, right? So if you could write yourself a note that would fit on a fortune cookie piece of paper and send that back to yourself as a young fella at any age, what would it say?
Yeah.
What would it say and why? So a piece of advice for yourself.
Wow. Fuck, probably don't stick your dick in that bitch. And that's not going out directly to my baby mamas. I love my boys. I love my fucking kids, and I'm glad. With all the turmoil, I'm glad I've got 2 fucking healthy boys. But just don't stick your dick in that chick. Like, that's what I'd say. Because, man, fuck. I used to like, I don't know, for a while in Melbourne there, I was like the rapper to go to for women when they're trying to cheat on their boyfriend. You know? So there was like a few years where I was just getting abusive calls from blokes I never met, like, you fucked my girlfriend. And I'll be like, man, I have no fucking idea who you are. Like, what the fuck is going on? And, you know, like, just thinking I'm like rock star status in my mid-20s, I'm just sticking my dick in anything. And, you know, abortions galore, arguments, turmoil, stalkers, just don't stick your dick in that bitch. Like, that's what, it would have saved me so many dramas and so much beef if I just didn't stick my dick in certain women.
You need to get yourself one of them dolls, man.
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to say this live. Cogs actually has a flashlight. he reckons it's mad.
There's no shame in that.
Yeah.
Fuck me dead, man. That is very, very funny. All right, mate. Let's plug your music. What are we looking at?
Yeah.
There's two Spotify. One have just got a couple little songs, and one is where all your music's at. So plug that.
Yeah.
Plug your social media, and then plug your. Do you want to plug your property with the accommodation?
Yeah, for sure, man. That'd be sick. Well, yeah, the Spotify shit. I don't know, because my other name on Spotify is just from all the collabs I was on from other people's albums. So I guess Spotify just made that Maggot Mouf up, and then just to have my collabs there, I don't really get it, but because I don't fuck with that shit much. So, but basically, it's everywhere, man. Now all the tunes, YouTube, Spotify, Apple Play. I just went distro kid. That seemed like the easiest shit.
Yeah.
So Running with Scissors, You're All Ears, and the Go to Tron 2020 is all up there. I still got like another mixtape I could put up there, but it's a lot of jack beats and shit. So
yeah.
Not really sure how it works. Maybe they'll bar it and not allow it.
Yeah, I think there is a bit, like, I know the Battle Hogs had a bit of trouble, and I think even Bunksy had a bit of trouble getting some of his because it was like that. And but for
me, it's like a pain in the ass. Simple things on the computer are just a pain in the ass for me.
Yeah, I've got a parody out there that I, blatantly rip off. Today Was a Good Day by Ice Cube. And I haven't. It's still up there. I haven't heard anything.
Really?
You got to dig pretty deep to find it.
Where on Spotify?
Yeah. So, but I didn't use.
No shit.
I didn't use the Ice Cube beat. I used the original sample and flipped it.
Oh, okay.
But
so you remade the beat too.
Yeah, but it's not much of a remake. It's a straight loop. So
yeah.
it should be.
Yeah, man.
And then
That's fucking cool.
Also, while I was sort of having a break from the podcast, just to sort of, keep the listeners happy and thank them for supporting me, I put a couple like mixes out. So one was like OG, like 70s funk soul, and one was hip hop that I listened to as a kid. So it's just like a mixtape, and I haven't heard bull about it,
Where have you chucked them on?
Just on the Get Down. If you search the podcast episodes, they're up there. They've got a different, different color.
It works like that.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
listen to that 80s hip hop for the
Fuck yeah,
kids growing up.
I love 80s hip hop, man. I love it.
It wasn't. It was actually for 80s kids, for kids who grew up in the 80s or something.
Oh,
But
man, you know who I want to write a song with? Fucking Too Short.
Oh yeah, he's getting a bit active again.
He is. You know why? Because all them beats are coming back, I reckon.
Yeah.
Too short. It says fucking, here's 3 samples from a Casio keyboard. Enjoy.
Yeah, he's getting. I seen him getting a bit busy on the interwebs.
Weird. Yeah. Making a comeback.
We'll hit him up. That's the thing these days. You can reach out to you. And I kind of don't like it, and I do, because it loses that mysteriousness, like that mystique that you can just reach out to your heroes and go, hey, do you want to do this?
Yeah.
So it's like, I like knowing I can't contact Ice-T. That's not going to happen.
Well,
and then,
there's myths, man. Like, people back in the day when Oz rap was just coming up in mid 2000s, people would like paying dumb money for like, not Be Real, but the other kind, Zen Dog. Shit, like, I heard someone paying him 80 grand for a verse.
Fuck.
There's like,
surely not.
and yeah,
I smoked
shit like
blunt
that.
with him. I smoked weed with Sendog, and I was like, yeah! I was so excited, man.
Cool.
I'm like, I'm smoking with
Is that
Sendog.
Adelaide?
Yeah, and he was like,
Yeah.
just calm down, little fella. Just calm down, little man.
Little man. So, all right, Chief.
Yeah.
All right, Kent. Oh, man.
It's all good.
So good.
We just smoking.
Yeah, we smoking, we laugh.
Yeah, funny as, man. Like, we growing up as Australians, we just see all that. And I'm like, you're from Cypress Hill. I'm smoking weed with Cypress Hill. This is it. I've made it.
Yeah, fucking oath, man. 100%. I remember it was actually not Gutsy, but my brother under us, Southwick. His dad got me onto Cypress Hill. He was a mad stoner, like, and that was like 12 then. It's like boom, 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 and that was it.
Yeah.
Hit it, pop it, fire it up, come along. Just like learning the lyrics like the Bible.
Yeah, they were great albums, man.
Yeah.
Temple, the first one was incredible, and then to follow it up with Temples of Boom, I was just like,
yeah,
just Muggs' beats, just so simple but effective, man.
I know, fucking know.
Incredible. All right, mate, better wrap it up. Remembering, I got to edit
Thanks
all
for having
this shit.
us, man.
Nah, fucking good to speak to you, man. It's. I sort of feel guilty when I do the episodes that it's been so long that I haven't spoken to people, or like.
Oh, it's the best kind of consent. We got a lot to catch up on. So
yeah.
Makes sense, like. Yeah.
Fucking nice. So if you're up this part of the world, mate, let us know, and I'll do the same. Fucking.
Yeah, 100%.
Or we'll meet in the City Hotel in Adelaide someday.
Yeah, fucking nice, man. Glenelg all the way. 6 a.m. pancake.
We quickly plug the how people can.
Oh yeah,
stay
what
out.
a glamping spot. So if you want to, if you're a fan of mine, especially, you want to see what I've done with my life up until now, come stay at my property, Wadamandara. It's 15 minutes from Cowra. It's called Wada Glamping Spot. So WATTA Glamping Spot. And yeah, book out whenever you want. Listen, if you want to. I've actually put a thing there just to make more money. I've put a thing like, I can't remember what I call myself, but basically you can hire me for $100 to stay there with you too. Like,
I think that's called a gigolo, man.
Yeah, well, hopefully. No,
or a cuck. A cuck.
I can't remember what I call them, like raid your day, but like I'll show you around, show you how to fish. Because get this, man, quick story. First booking I had, chick calls me, how do we light a fire?
Nice.
And I'm like,
$50.
I'm like, I was literally like, I was on the phone. She's like, can you come up here? I'm like, no, I'm hours away. Why? She's like, how do we light a fire? I was like, well, you get some paper, you light it, you put some sticks on top, then they come alight, and then you start putting more bits of wood on. And there was just an awkward silence for like a minute. And I was like, you there? Oh, yeah, I'm here.
I'm
like,
trying.
Okay, we cool? Are we cool then? Like, yeah,
funny.
so, so I said, like, pay me $100, I'll come there so you dumbass can figure out how to fucking light a fire. But no one's booked me yet. But if any fans want to book me and they're hot and they're a woman, yeah.
He won't stick his dick in you because that's his motto. But well, you could perform, you could serenade them around the fire with a bit of fucking bit of
I'll play.
mouth.
I still know like one Nirvana song on guitar and maybe a Metallica song. We can play that and just caress and seduce.
Yeah. Oh, rest in peace to the fucking drummer of
What? Metallica?
No, Foo Fighters.
Oh shit!
Just fucking died today. Got a few. Rest in peace to Warnie. Rest in peace
wow.
to Rod Marsh. And today, I believe, the day we're recording is the anniversary of a good friend of ours, Nish, who passed away.
R.I.P.
That must be a couple of years ago now. So
Yeah. R.I.P.
yeah.
R.I.P. to Natso too, another BTE member. Natso was there with Rico teaching me how to rap back in the day too.
I just pulled his
Fucking love
shirt
that
out the other day. You know, I was going through some stuff and I pulled his shirt out and I'm like, I really should.
Fucking love that shirt, man.
Yeah, I really
that
should.
shirt is so dope.
Yeah, I really should.
Mexi designed it. How did you get it?
I bought it. It was to go to like there was a donation like you got.
Yeah,
it went to his family.
It just went so quick. I didn't even get one.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've got plenty of guard funds.
Yeah,
because I've got doubles on that. But.
Somewhere I've got like a post pack, and it must have like 100 Gargoyle Saint Sinner posters in it. Cause
shit.
Because Checkmate used to send me over. To
help
the street
promo
team.
on that.
Yeah, so but I've moved so many times, but it's somewhere.
Right.
It's somewhere.
Fucking man, can you send me some?
When I find it, man, I'll when I find them, I'll hit up
when you
all
do,
the boys, and I'll definitely.
dude.
It could be anywhere in my dungeon.
Yeah, because you'd probably. I don't know how far away from Brizzy you are, but you probably just catch up with Bigfoot there.
I've seen him once at Alertz's house.
Yeah,
he was painting.
That's how it is when you're older, man. You got fucking all the time to hang out.
Though I do want to do some shit with him actually. So, but it's just I haven't got time to fucking scratch myself. That's why I haven't done the podcast since fucking September last year, man. So
yeah, and it's hard being creative and doing creative shit when there's not much reward. You know.
Yeah.
You do it for the passion of it, and sometimes your passion dies out.
Well, and when you're younger, you're around all those people bouncing off each other. I've got no one up here. I met a rapper up here called MC Wheels. I'm going to try and get him on. He's a rapper.
Yeah, man.
Like the wheels is to do with that. He's in a wheelchair. And at first I thought, oh, here we go. He's a gimmick. But I listened to his shit. He's fucking dope. You know.
Wow, MF Grimm style.
Yeah, he's just
his shit was dope too and underrated.
Yeah, absolutely dope. So I'm going to try and reach out to him and
yeah, man, that'd be interesting as fuck.
Yeah, like hear his story. I've just heard some really good things about him and how his approach to his disability and like it's But we'll save it for an episode that I can get him on. All right, mate. Look, we'll end it there, but don't go. I'll have a quick talk with you offline about
sweet man. Thanks for having us.
No worries. I'm going to end the
recording. Get down.
All right, peace out, mate.
Legend. Thank you.
Peace.